Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, we're going through the Brisbane versus Richmond game, which did actually happen on the Saturday night. We are that far, I wouldn't say we're that far behind, but we're just, there's usually one game on the Saturday that gets left over to the Monday reviews, and so we'll get the 3 reviews done today, and then the last one alongside our fancy team review on Tuesday. Wednesday, you'll have the usual cash cows and trade targets, which will actually be recorded on the Wednesday. Then the Thursday, you will have the all of the videos there. And then I'm planning in the next week, once we start to enter the buys, that we'll have the it'll probably be in bye week. I'm just sort of setting it up, the video on the sort of lessons learned from this year. We've already got a couple of content, some other people that have put it sort of on, so I have some reactions, I guess, and some sort of thoughts about it. So we'll hopefully that video, that tweet gets some more traction and we can get some other people to comment on it. But yeah, it's going all right at the moment from what I'm seeing. But anyway, before we jump into this sort of smashing, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into this recap. So Zorko, again, is just burning me in my fantasy season. He is doing pretty well for my Supercoach team, as I really liked what he was doing. Obviously, in the last quarter, didn't have to do much because the game was obviously dead and buried. I think he just sort of sat off from memory, given his TOG. But yeah, he did the second lowest TOG out of guys that played out the game behind Revel. But yeah, he's doing his job, and yeah, one of the biggest misses, I think, for the year. We sort of did toil with this, and I think that's something that can happen, is just basically saying, oh, because you have too many of the sort of guys in the in a round 12, that you should just completely dismiss someone. I don't think that is a decent strategy, and something that I probably am a component of pushing, I guess. And so I think that with Zorko, I was a little bit hesitant on the roll, and I mean, damn it, this thing is doing what I think it would do. So if I just change this on the run, as you can see, I clearly didn't catch that. So there we go. That should fix it there. We'll keep that on the run there. I should have checked it before going recording. But as you can see, here's Zorko, huge first 3 quarters and not much in the last. And yeah, basically echoing what I just said. Lockie Neal 122. He was pretty consistent throughout the whole game. Is he going to be fantasy relevant in the long term? I don't think so, given he's only averaging like 91, 92, and it seems very rare. It seems like a 1 in 4 chance that he goes these 120 games, so I would be sticking clear of him. Then you have Danaher 119, Dunkley 105. I think he is the better, Zorko and then him are the better targets out of Brisbane, just because they are doing, he's doing this pretty regularly. A 105 is almost a down score for him, so I would be picking him up over the likes of Neil. Lohman, I thought, had a really good game in general, kicked 5, which does definitely help against a pretty woeful Richmond side, which we still don't know how this one's lost to that side. I guess it was because they didn't, that Richmond actually had all their star players that week. But yeah, Lohman kicked 5 goals, 1, I believe. Wilmot, 96, he's just getting in on the action. Basically, when Zorko wasn't doing it, he was doing it, and you'll, I think, see very, very 16, 20, 21, and then we go to here, and you'll see 1 in 16, 20. I guess he was doing a little bit, but basically all of his, a lot of his points here come when Zorko isn't involved in the play. So I think that Wilmot is just trudging along, and I think he will be one of those guys similar to Jake Lloyd, similar to Ollie Florent, that sort of average 80 odd. Well, I mean, Jake Lloyd did average 100 odd, but Ollie Florent, similar to him, where he's like the second ball handler, distributor in the back line, and they can't really average more than 80. They'll have some spike games, but they won't do massive numbers. McKenna, Archie, Payne, Rayner, McInerney 82 on Nenk. McCluggage got subbed out because he had a slight tightness, but still job done. I mean, 80, not the greatest, thinking about it. Berry, Lester, Revel, Cameron, Andrews, Fletcher, Morris, Sharp, Hipwood, and Braun. I just think that their youngsters are getting games into them. They're getting points on the board, which is going to suck next year when a lot of these guys could have potentially been rookies and rookie priced. But that's what happens in the season. You usually sometimes get a club that just has to clear out all of their players and get games into them, and this is what's happening as well as with Richmond. As Richmond had, I think, Naismith go down with an ACL. They also had Lafau out of the game pretty early, if I remember correctly. I think that was at halftime. I think they also had someone else go down. Was it Sonsi or Mansell with a concussion as well after a big hit or something? I'm pretty sure there was an injury there. I'll check on my phone through the sort of match reaction of this game. But Nankervis, and you can just see the absolute dominance here, only 1186. And yeah, they just got smoked. As simple as that. Do we have like a news report of it? Is it just sort of... yeah, I'll try and find it. But anyway, Nankervis 90, he did all right. Bolton 87, I guess he did all right in a way. Given that Bolton's scoring is sort of very up and down. Rioli 84, we talk about that. That he's sort of going to be that guy in the 80s range and never really scored terribly well. Let me just see here if they're going to mention anything in the match report here. Is it anything? Pretty sharp? No. Yeah, I don't see anything about actual... yeah, there's nothing here, I don't think, between anything to do with injuries or anything. Let's just see. Oh, I need to check if Loston got concussed. Suspended. And you guys would know. I know that Hipwood did get suspended, but I don't know if Loston did. Let me just check that. Or was it on Vloston? Tiger Nick... no, that's 2022. Maybe it wasn't. Oh, yeah, no, it was. Okay. That's what it was. Hipwood did get suspended for his tackle on Vloston. I'm just almost trying to remember what happened in this game because it was on the Saturday night. Prestia 74, Bolter 69, Cumberland. McAuliffe, I brought him in for a 61, so not the worst score now thinking about it actually, which was good. And let's just see here. Anything about injuries? Is there anything... really tired. Come on, give me the... It doesn't look like there was anything about injuries, which is probably a good thing about this game, that nothing actually... no injuries came out of it for Richmond from what I can see. But I'll probably be proven wrong. Vloston 58, Miller, sorry about that rumbling, I guess. Martin 53, so just showing that Martin and Bolton sort of go up and down quite a lot. Dow, Short, Young, Broad, Brown, McIntosh, Mansell, Sonsi, Lafau, Ralph Smith, Pickett, Green, and also Coulthard. I think for Richmond now, and the thing that sucks about Richmond is their midfield is almost... I mean, their midfield with Hopper and also the likes of Taranto, who should be back, I think, sometime soon. They impress you, but... I think the annoying part for Richmond is this is such a top-heavy midfield draft. And so they're going to get... They might as well play the kids at this point in Dow, Green, Swansea, Mansell, who else here? And McAuliffe. They might as well play these guys and just get experience into them. They're not going to be... I mean, they sort of have to at this point. They sort of have to bring out this same team that they can because there's no other players to replace them. But I think next it's almost a transition period and... for them, as they've been saying throughout this year. And I do think that Bolton's probably better off the half forward flank rather than in the midfield. So I don't know what his CBAs were. I can actually look that up here on the AFL app for that. Do we have advanced? Bolton had 29 CBAs. I don't think he's actually that good of a on-ball midfielder. I'd rather him half forward. So that can... I think they should just target someone like a Smiley or... who else in the draft have they got up top? I'm forgetting the names. Oh, because like a couple of them are injured. And I don't... Smiley might go number 1, which could easily go to North with the way they're playing. But I think someone like that for Richmond, get their sort of Bolton, Martin up forward of the ball and have these younger guys like a McAuliffe in the midfield, Taranto, Hopper. Well, Taranto and Hopper, their older guys going to come back. Then you get a Smiley in there, you start to build up a rotation of 4 or 5 midfielders in there, and then you build from there because, I mean, they still got Nankervis going well. Rioli is good off the halfback. Bolter is pretty good wherever you put him. McAuliffe is like 3 games in now. Vlosten's pretty good off halfback anyway. And then you got sort of Ben Miller doing his stuff. Jaden Short's usually pretty good off halfback. So you sort of have some resemblance of a good side. You obviously would have Tom Lynch when he comes back as well. So I don't think it's the end of the world for Richmond. I do think that they have some pieces. I just think they need to attack this draft heavily, probably try and go after one of the Gold Coast or GWS selections, as GWS do have, is it Leo Lombard that he should go high as well, so that GWS will want to trade out of their first, given the current rules aren't going to change for this draft, that you have to have a pick in the same round. I would suspect that's what the rule's going to be. So they'll trade out of that to match Leo Lombard, and I think, or is Leo Lombard, let me actually check which academy he is from, as that would kind of help. Where is he from? He's in midfielder. I should have just checked. Gold Coast Academy, Leo Lombard, not GWS, but same process applies with that Gold Coast have another guy that they want, and so I think that Richmond can do that, really get another draft pick there, and that's the way that another high draft pick there from Gold Coast, and that'll be the way that they get the talent sort of in there, and they can sort of get rid of those picks in the 30s and 40s for a good pick in the teens, I reckon, and get 2 first rounders, get an early second as well, and I think they have pick 30 as well, which should hold around pick 35 in the end. So they all sort of go out a little bit, but that pick 30 should be 30. So I have, I think, 4 or 5 picks in the top 35 where they can target. I think genuinely they can target two on ballers. Probably they need a winger, to be honest. Now looking at now thinking about Richmond, and then probably a key position player again, just getting that development in there when they're as it takes 3 to 4 years for those guys. So you never want to just put them completely on the back burner. So that'll probably be something similar to what Richmond do, but that's only sort of talking about Richmond from an opposition standpoint, and they'll have their fans that probably have different opinions, etc., and rightfully so. But anyway, that is just my thoughts on the game. I'm also talking about Richmond in general because they're probably going to be absolutely horrific this year just because of the injuries. I mean, they somehow beat Sydney, but I don't see them really winning more than 2 or 3 games just because they've got so many guys injured. I mean, Brisbane have a lot of guys injured, but they're more so just, it's a smaller chunk of injuries for a larger period of time. Like a lot of ACL season enders, whereas Richmond's a lot of, I think I have something like 12 or 13 guys returning in the next 6 to 8 weeks, and some guys obviously returning quicker than that, but that's sort of what the injury list for Richmond looks like. But anyway, that is the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.